Good morning, my friends. Thanks for joining Bible and Revelations. I'm Sal Lopez, and I haven't talked in a long time. This is episode 62B, Daniel 6. We'll be starting at with a little synopsis of Daniel 1 through 13, and then I'm going to start reading at Daniel 6, verse 6. This is where the other satraps, 120 satraps are managed by three governors, and one of the governors is Daniel. Daniel is incorruptible. He will not take bribes. He will not do anything that is unethical. So they're plotting against him. And in Daniel 6, it talks a lot about his prayer life. And really, this chapter really made me think about prayer and how important it is. And that we should be more grateful and pray more often. So, in Daniel 6, Daniel is seen praying when he's a young man, and he's seen praying in Daniel 6 when he is elderly. And he is exceedingly blessed, and this may be part of it, his steadfast prayer life. At least 4 things mark Daniel's prayer life. His personal faith. Some people believe that Daniel had a prayer chamber built on top of his house, with the windows permanently open toward Jerusalem. It was an act of faith on the part of an exiled Jew to pray 3 times a day, facing toward the land from which he had been taken captive. I heard some Jews still do this. They face toward Jerusalem and pray. Part 2 would be his piety. He prayed toward Jerusalem in response to the Word of God, as it dictates in 1 Kings chapter 8, verses 35 and 36. He got on his knees and prayed, a sign of reverence and humility. Daniel could have become arrogant as a chief administrator of the whole Medo-Persian Empire, but he recognized that he was merely a servant in the hands of an omnipotent God. So Daniel, his perspective is not that of a man dealing with the world. He steps out of himself and looks down from above and sees himself as just one of billions of humans. And then he looks up and he sees God has created this earth and all of these billions of humans. God created us to worship Him. It goes a lot deeper than that, but I'll keep going. But I think Daniel was trying to fulfill God's wishes and please God by worshiping Him and not being solely focused on his own goals. Part 3 of Daniel's prayer life is he petitions to God. Daniel's accusers found him praying and making supplication. Daniel made no vague request. His prayers were specific, applicable, and passionate. Oh. See, there's another hint. Specific, applicable, and passionate. That's something to think about. Instead of praying, for the peace in the Middle East, or please heal my family, maybe we should be more specific. Part 4 of Daniel's prayer life was his praise. This is one of the most unusual things in the text. Daniel knew the king's prayer decree had been signed. So what did he do? He expressed his thanks to God. Okay, imagine what could happen if God's people developed such consistency and continuity in their lives. As was his custom since early days, Daniel continued in his devotion so that when he was 24, when he was 40, when he hit the golden years, and even into his 90s, he was still a mighty weapon in the hands of God. We should all take this Daniel's piety and try to copy it. This is a very poignant, significant book, Daniel 6. I should have studied it more before I read this. So I'll get back to the text. Daniel 6, verse 6. The satraps were plotting against Daniel because he would not take bribes. So verse 6 starts, "So these governors and satraps thronged before the king and said thus to him, King Darius, live forever. And the governors of the kingdom, the administrators, and satraps, the counselors and advisors, have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whoever petitions any god or man for 30 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, so that it cannot be changed, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter." Therefore, King Darius signed the written decree. They all got together and kind of ganged up on King Darius and appealed to his vanity to sign a decree that everybody must pray to him alone or be thrown into the lion's den for 30 days. Because they knew Daniel was consistently prayed 3 times a day on top of his house. And they were trying to set a trap to get rid of Daniel so that they could be free to do unethical bribery and extortion and whatever unethical things they wanted to do without being hindered or made to look bad by Daniel. It's like 6 people there, and one of them is always consistently performing better, dressed nicer, speaks more eloquently. The other 5 will start to hate the 6th person because of their they outperform them and make them look bad in comparison, instead of melting in to be popular. Well, unfortunately, that's about the end of. That's about as far as I can get. Is Daniel 3 through 9, I'd encourage you all to think about your prayer life. This is really going to affect me in the way I pray. I guess I'll try to be more consistent, specific, applicable, and passionate in my prayers. I am pretty much, but I will try to be more specific. It is good for your psychology too to know what you want. In the back, in your subconscious, you say to yourself, "I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be comfortable. I'm going to be a good person." And then your subconscious mind will start looking for ways to fulfill that, and you'll notice opportunities to become more successful, rich, happy, good, benevolent. So be specific, passionate, and applicable in your prayers. God bless you, and I will see you next week.